Hey guys, Mrs. Alexander here. Sorry I'm not in today, but I'll be in tomorrow. So you and Miss Diaz are going to be going over the lessons that I have recorded for you. So today for Making Meaning, we are learning to wonder. So we're going to continue with our wondering, okay? And your success criteria. So what you'll be able to do by the end of this lesson is you'll be able to wonder and ask questions about a story. Now, last week we read the story Brave Bear, right? And we did a lot of talking about this book and wondering, right? Asking questions about things we wanted to know about the book. Now, wondering is something that good readers do to help them understand and enjoy stories more. So the story we're going to be reading today is called A Letter to Amy. And this book is written by Ezra Jack Keats. So he is the author. So he wrote the story, and Ezra Jack Keats is also the illustrator. So Ezra Jack Keats made these wonderful pictures in the book as well. Okay. Now, on the back of this book, we have something called a summary. And we quickly discussed what a summary was last week in our book, Brave Bear, right? It gives us a short description of what the story is going to be about. So if you're at a library and there's a bunch of books, you could turn the book over on the back cover and look at the summary and read it and see if it's a book that might be interesting to you. So on the back of this book, A Letter to Amy, we have a summary as well. The summary says, "Will you please come to my birthday party? Peter is having a birthday party and he's already asked all his pals in the neighborhood to come. But Amy is a special friend. So Peter wants to write her a special invitation. When he rushes out into the thunderstorm to mail it, he runs headlong into trouble. Will she get the letter in time? And will she decide to come?" So that was the description, kind of telling us what the story is going to be about and if it's something that we would want to read. So looking at the picture on the front of our book, we see Peter. I would assume this is Peter, and he's in a raincoat, and you can definitely tell it's kind of like a stormy, thundery kind of day. And there's his letter. And oops, something's happening to his letter here. Okay. So I would say, I wonder who Amy is, right? A letter to Amy. So I'm wondering who Amy is. And I wonder what happens to Peter and the letter during the thunderstorm. So that's what I'm wondering. Those are questions that I have about the story. Now let's see as we read if any of these questions will be answered. I'm going to read this book and stop a few times to go over some new vocabulary, and we can discuss. Ms. Diaz will pause and we can discuss as a class some of the questions. Okay? All right, guys. And we're just reading half the book. We'll read the other half tomorrow when I come in. So I can't wait to see what you guys remember from today. A Letter to Amy by Ezra Jack Keats. A Letter to Amy. Oh, guys, look. Is this my title page? What do you think? I have a title, but what does a title page need? It needs a title, and it also needs the author and illustrator. Does it show an author and illustrator here? No, it doesn't, does it? Let's keep going and see if we can find the title page. Every book usually has a title page. Here we go. A Letter to Amy by Ezra Jack Keats. Here is our title page. "I'm writing a letter to Amy. I'm inviting her to my party," Peter announced. "Why don't you just ask her? You didn't write to anyone else," said his mother. Peter stared at the sheet of paper for a while and said, "Well, this way it's sort of special." Here's Peter and his mom. He folded the letter quite a few times, put it in the envelope, and sealed it. Students, an envelope is a flat paper cover for a letter. He folded the letter quite a few times, put it in the envelope, and sealed it. Now I'll mail it. Students, when you mail something, you send letters, cards, or packages, right? And someone can come and the mailman will come and pick it up and deliver it to the person that you want to send it to. Now I'll mail it, he said. What did you write? His mother asked. Will you please come to my birthday party, Peter? You should tell her when to come. So he wrote on the back of the envelope, it is this Saturday at 2. Now I'll mail it. Put on a stamp. Students, a stamp is a sticker that is put on letters and other mail that shows someone paid to send it. Put on a stamp. He did and started to leave. Wear your raincoat. It looks like rain. He put it on and said, it looks like rain. You better stay in, Willie, and ran out to mail his letter. There's Peter. He's got his envelope and his letter in his hand with a stamp on it, ready to bring it to the mail. And his dog, Willie. Walking to the mailbox, Peter looked at the sky. Dark clouds raced across it like wild horses. He glanced up at Amy's window. She wasn't there. Only Pipe, her parrot, sat peering down. Willie, didn't I tell you to stay home? Somebody followed him. What has happened so far in the story? You may now pause the computer and discuss as a class. What do you wonder about the story now? What are you wondering? What questions do you want to know about what is happening? Please use the prompt, I wonder. You may now pause the video again to discuss as a class. Peter thought, what will the boys say when they see a girl at my party? Suddenly there was a flash of lightning and a roar of thunder. A strong wind blew the letter out of his hands. Peter chased the letter. He tried to stop it with his foot, but it blew away. Then it flew high into the air. There's Willie. And landed skipping across a hopscotch game. The letter blew this way and that. Peter chased it this way and that. He couldn't catch it. What do you wonder about the story now? You may pause the computer or you may pause the recording and please discuss as a class. Remember to start with, I wonder. Big drops of rain began to fall. Just then, someone turned the corner. It was Amy. She waved to him. The letter flew right toward her. She mustn't see it or the surprise will be spoiled. They both ran for the letter. There's Amy. Peter, oh no. In his great hurry, Peter bumped into Amy. He caught the letter before she could see it. It was for her. So we got that letter, but she bumped into her and she fell down. Quickly, he stuffed the letter into the mailbox. He looked for Amy, but she had run off crying. There she is. So he was able to get the letter to the mail, but well, it looks like she's holding her backside where she fell and she ran off crying. What has happened so far in the story? Please pause the video and discuss as a class. What do you wonder about now? Please start with the prompt, I wonder. You can pause the video and discuss what you wonder about the story. So why do you think Peter doesn't want Amy to see the letter? Why do you think he doesn't want Amy to see the letter? You can pause and discuss as a class. What did you wonder as you listened to the story? What questions did you have in your mind as you were listening to the story? Please pause and discuss as a class. Great job, students. So today we practiced wondering about what was happening in the story, and tomorrow we're going to hear the rest of the story and we'll have a chance to talk about the story and what you guys are wondering. Great job, and I'll see you again soon.